Hi, Felasty here from Now Spinning Magazine with another unboxing video, and this is the second in our series looking at the Be Bop Deluxe Super Deluxe Edition box sets. The first one looked at Axe Victim, and this one focuses on the 1975 album Futurama. And Chris Wright, who you're now beginning to realise is an uber fan when it comes to this band, is going to go through the box set for us, and I shall see you on the other side.
Hi everybody, it's Chris here again with the second part of my look at the Be Bop Deluxe Edition box sets by Esoteric. And today we'll be looking at the 1975 album, their second album, Futurama, which was recorded in Rockfield Studios in the early part of 1975 with a very different lineup from the first iteration of Be Bop Deluxe. And we'll actually look at the lineup as it was at that time, with, of course, Bill Nelson, Simon Fox, and Charlie Tumahai. Bill, of course, on guitar, Simon on drums, Charlie on bass. And this was a very different lineup from the one that recorded Axe Victim. Bill had been advised that from EMI that they wanted to change the lineup. They felt that the band wasn't the right chemistry, the right mix. Bill disagreed with that, and ultimately, though he did agree with them, he hired two guys out of Cockney Rebel, Milton Reame-James on keyboards and Paul Jeffries on drums, but he just felt that the chemistry wasn't right. Simon Fox was hired at that time, so Simon and Bill actually carried out the audition for bass player, and Charlie immediately stood out. I mean, if anyone's, I saw the band live, and Charlie was just a wonderful live performer, and I think his kind of liveliness, his great playing, stood out immediately at the auditions that they held. So Charlie was instantly taken to a coffee bar and offered the job, which of course he took. Obviously, he was from New Zealand and was looking for a way to. He'd been with one band and he wanted to actually find another one. And well, this was a great find for him and for Be Bop. So ultimately, they were joined by Andrew Clark, but on keyboards. But Andrew, which was of course the final lineup of Be Bop, but that was actually not until after the recording of Futurama. So these, again, as with the previous box set, these are the cards that you get. There's a set of 4 of those. They're really lovely. And let's have a look at the rest of the box. It's in this nice sort of slipcase again, with themed completely with the Futurama design, the beautiful artwork that was created for it. And it's really a stunning album to look at, and I think it's an even more stunning album to listen to. Produced with Roy Thomas Baker, who was, of course, making a big name with Queen at the time. Bill does actually say that he and Roy Thomas Baker didn't get on too well, so that was a short-lived thing, and of course ultimately John Leckie became producer, and we'll take that up a bit more when we look at the Sunburst Finish box set for the next edition of this series. So let's have a quick look then at the discs, and you've got 4 discs here essentially. And what we have is disc 1 is the original album remastered, with 4 bonus tracks on it. Sorry, 2 bonus tracks on the first CD, which are Between the Worlds, a single version of Between the Worlds and Lights. Then on the second CD, and I actually prefer this. I did say with Axe Victim, I didn't prefer the first that first series, that remix of the first album, but I much prefer it on this one. There's a little bit of a modification I find on the, for want of a better term, on the main CD, and this just clears it up beautifully. So I think this is an example where a bit of remixing really does work very, very well. The third disc is very, very interesting. That's made up of BBC recordings, a Radio 1 session with John Peel in March 1975, which is really, really good. And then I think what is actually almost the pièce de résistance of this set, which is the BBC Radio 1 in concert from the May of that year, and the quality of sound on that one is really good. They can vary a bit, these concerts and BBC sessions, but absolutely fantastic recording, and I love that. Then on it's a DVD for disc 4, which again is remastered sound, but in surround sound and high res. As I said before, I'm not too worried about surround sound, but from time to time one can listen to those things, and as it wasn't recorded in surround originally, I'm not enamored with the idea, but I think it's a very interesting thing to do. It certainly puts the music in a new light, and it's quite interesting. There's also an Old Grey Whistle Test appearance on here, and also a promotional video for Maid in Heaven, which of course was almost the signature track off this album, I guess, and Bill often said that was his favourite Be Bop Deluxe track. He thought that was the most perfect iteration of the band. Anyway, here we have the promotional poster, which again we'll superimpose over this because it's really difficult to show you the whole thing, but love this design, and very distinctive. And I think Bebop's always had great album covers, and this was no exception, and maybe even one of the very best. Then we come to the book, and I'll just move the box out of the way, and we'll take a good look at the book. Quite an interesting choice of dress there for Simon. I'm not sure that would be politically correct in today's world, but there's Bill just in a sort of clown sort of costume, or whatever you might call it, and Charlie there sort of looking perhaps the most normal of the three there. And this is, again, a beautiful book, just fantastic, and it's full of great pictures. Again, the story of the band at this time, we get the whole story of the band's evolution at this time, which very much was an evolution from Axe Victim, a much more confident album, I think. And of course, this was ultimately, an album that produced, some great classics. So it's really a huge stepping stone in the band's history. And I think this was the point at which probably Be Bop Deluxe was seen as a very serious contender. Indeed, we'll see that in a moment in one of the pages here. But again, you can see it's beautifully illustrated. Bill again writes notes here, and we also get notes written by Mark Powell of Esoteric. Again, we've got these beautiful covers of tape, master tapes, which I think are fantastic and so atmospheric and interesting. And there's Bill in typical pose at the time. And this is interesting. This is a Radio 1. I think it's a magazine advert, and it's a Radio 1 DJ's pick of the year, where they all pick various artists. You can see Ed Stewart, not unusually because this was a junior choice DJ, picked the Bay City Rollers. There's Sparks down here as another choice, and here I can't actually see it here, but there's John Peel and Bill was John Peel's choice, somebody he'd often championed, and there's Fluff, of course, with Kiki D, and a few others there. In fact, there's Jim Capaldi with David Hamilton, and very, very interesting poster that, and shows you really that Bill was very much seen as a great artist at that time, and a coming artist, as it were, in terms of him being very much touted for success. And I think obviously this album very much confirmed that. Some fantastic tracks on here, and actually what you do get is very nice pages of lyrics. Music in Dreamland, what a great track. Between the Worlds, love the guitar on that. But really, guitar playing on the whole thing is just exemplary. And as you can see, again, this is just beautifully done. Absolutely essential for any Be Bop Deluxe collector, I would say. And just fantastically well executed, as Esoteric always does. Just maintaining the standard of the first one. And here's Andrew Clark, who, by the way of the BBC concert Andrew was playing with the band, he's announced on that. So that's really fascinating. But again, this is just a beautiful, beautiful box set and a wonderful book. I mean, whoever would have thought? I mean, to be honest, I've been following the band since the 70s, and when I saw them on the early 1977 UK tour. And I never imagined all these years later would ever see a box set, or a set of deluxe editions, I should say, as luxurious as this. It's absolutely a dream come true. And as you can see, just fantastic from beginning to end. What a wonderful thing. And I love this page here with posters on it, including gigs and adverts and things, and actually labels for the singles. Look, Between the Worlds, Maid in Heaven, Sister Seagull, another classic that was a mainstay of their live show. But again, beautifully executed, fantastic box set, and it carries my highest recommendation, which won't surprise anybody, but these all do. You can just take it from me that they're all fantastic, but I do hope you enjoyed having a look at it, and we'll see you for the next one.
Wow, that is how to put together a box set, and this series is really kind of pushing some of us to the edge of deciding whether we need these in our collections or not. I know some of you are going for the remix and remaster sets, but also these box sets are still around, apart from Sunburst Finish, which Chris is going to feature in the next video. And at the time of doing this, Cherry Red have just announced that the first one, Axe Victim, is back in stock, although I hadn't really noticed it really being that hard to find, but it's back in stock at Cherry Red for £49.95 in the UK, which is an absolute bargain for what you get. And I think all of us can see, as Chris went through that with Futurama, these are being put together with the full support of the artist, and the label themselves are obviously complete enthusiasts when they know exactly what people like us, collectors, actually want from a package like this. So if you've never heard of Be Bop Deluxe, hopefully these videos are giving you an insight to find out more and to stream some of their stuff before you decide what level you'd like to come in at. And of course, if you are a fan, especially a Uber fan like Chris, this is an essential series of box sets. So I'm really looking forward to the next one, which will be Sunburst Finish, the 1976 album. So thank you for watching, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing to this channel, and thank you for commenting. Please share, click that little bell thing so you don't miss out on any future box set reviews or anything we do on this channel. And it's fantastic to have you on board, and I shall see you on our next video.